Coach, the team went 2-2 at the Maryland Invitational last weekend. What are your overall thoughts on that weekend, and what was the team doing well?
Yeah, like you said, we went 2-2 on the weekend, but honestly, just kind of looking back, it was a weekend in which I really feel like we probably could have gone 3-1. But overall, good weekend and continuing to see improvement out of our team. So that's a good thing. We opened up the tournament with Utah, who was a great team, a strong team out of the Pac-12, and they had their number 2 pitcher in at the start. And I thought our offense did a really good job of having good at bats against her, and they ended up taking her out. And once that number 1 pitcher came in, we unfortunately just weren't able to make adjustments against her, and ended up losing that one in a close battle, and it was 2-1. But I was really happy though with Shannon Homan's start. She gave us strong innings, and Court came behind her and threw the ball really well. And the defense was great. And when you only lose to a team like Utah 2-1, you're doing some things well, which was obviously we pitched in and we played defense. So the second game that against Yale, we ended up losing that game 3-2. And I think looking back, that's the one game that I really wish we would have found a way to win. And we had an inning or two in which we probably didn't make some defensive plays that we needed to make, and we weren't able to get that timely hit at the end to help us score a couple more runs. But a lot of credit to Yale. They played 7 innings strong and they scrapped it out at the end, and they were able to take advantage of some things that we weren't able to do. But really happy with the way our kids responded against Maryland, and obviously a team that we were familiar with because we played them last week in Louisville. And like I've been saying all year, the game starts with what we do in the circle, what we do defensively, and, just getting timely hits. And that was definitely one of those games. And we were fortunate to beat Maryland 2-0. And, Kat Lee in the 6th comes up and has a key hit. And, we score 2 runs. And again, when you don't give up any runs, it's hard to lose games. So Shannon came in and threw a strong 5 innings for us. And Courtney Vierstra, she comes in and does what she's been doing all year for us, and, closed it out. And again, those 2 don't pitch that well unless the defense plays strong behind them. So really happy to just see our kids play 7 innings strong and just find a way to win. And when you can beat a Big Ten team and 2 times, and especially after we beat them last weekend, and to go to their home turf and to beat them again, it was awesome. And obviously most pleased with that last game against Jacksonville, because we were finally able to put all 3 together. And I was really happy and excited about our offense. In the first inning, we went up 3-0, and, Megan Wirtz gets on base. Ashton hits a home run, which is so cool to see because that was her first one of her career, and I know many more will come after that. And Johnny comes up behind her and just hits a rocket. So when you can go up 3-0 in the first inning, it really takes some pressure off the pitching and the defense. And just love the way that not only we came out of the gate strong offensively, but we continue to have good at bats. We continue to score throughout the game, and we didn't give up any runs. And Courtney threw the complete game shutout, and the defense was awesome behind her. So I feel like I'm continuing to say the same thing, but I feel really good about where our pitching staff is at and where our defense is. And when you can have those 2 things, that's a really good thing. And if our offense can improve, like I know that they will, and continue to get better after each weekend, and I know that they're going to do that, we're going to start winning at an even more consistent basis. So overall, the team is progressively getting better. Love the way that they're finding ways to go out there and play for each other and get some wins, and just overall good weekend in Maryland.
You open at home with the Miami Invitational this
Yes.
upcoming weekend. How exciting is it for you and the team to be able to play in front of your home crowd for the first time this season?
Yeah, obviously it's a great thing. We've been road warriors and been on the road for the past 4 weekends, and to be able to finally come home and play in front of our home crowd, it's a really big deal. And it's I know our coaching staff is excited, but more importantly, I know that our student athletes are excited to get to come home and play. The biggest thing is Mother Nature. We're just kind of keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that we've got some good weather ahead. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to coming home and playing here.
Dayton, Fort Wayne, Michigan, and Robert Morris are all playing in the Miami Invitational this
Right.
weekend. What are you going to keep in mind when facing these teams?
Yeah, they're all going to be good teams, and I know that they're going to come here and give us the best games that they can give us. So we open up the tournament with Fort Wayne. That is a team who we're well familiar with because they came to our tournament last year, and we actually will play them twice. Just looking at their stats, they do have one pitcher that's throwing the ball really, really well right now. And, anytime you have a pitcher that is as good as their number one, it gives any team a chance to win. So we've got a couple of hitters in their lineup that we need to make sure that we take care of, and just offensively we just have to find ways to score and manufacture runs. And after that we play Robert Morris. Robert Morris is a team that came to our tournament a couple of years ago, so another team that we're pretty familiar with as well. They've got a couple of good wins under their belt. They beat one of our one of our conference rivals in Kent State, who is a very, very good team. So anytime you see a team that you're about to play beat one of your good teams in conference, that says a lot. So I know that Robert Morris, they seem to be doing a few things well, and they got a couple of kids in their lineup that are gonna swing it, and we've just got to make sure that we take care of them from a pitching standpoint. But I feel that that's a game where we're just gonna have to, just battle it out offensively and see what team scores the most runs, because I think we should hopefully be able to hit their pitching. Then we've got Michigan, and Michigan's Michigan. And just first off, to have the opportunity to play Michigan and have the opportunity to play them at home, that's a really big deal. And so we're looking forward to that game. The last time we saw Michigan was at the 2016 regionals at that place. So I know the kids that were a part of that team are going to be excited to get that revenge and hopefully go out there and take down those Wolverines. But I have the utmost respect for that program, for Coach Carol Hutchins and her entire staff. And just kind of looking at the numbers right now, they're ranked, I believe they're 16th right now. And they're going to hit, they're going to run, and they're defending the ball really well. And they've got a great pitching staff, and they've got a freshman that's throwing the ball really well for them in Megan Bobian. And, I think her ERA is at a 1.02, and the staff's ERA is at a 1.32. So it's going to be one of those games where we can't go out there and expect to score a lot of runs, but we're going to have to pitch it, we're going to have to defend, and we're going to have to find ways to get kids on base and have timely hits. And, fortunately, as of late, our kids have been able to do that. So it should be a fun game against Michigan. And then we'll close out the tournament with Dayton, and Dayton's, a team that we are definitely well familiar with because we play them every year. Obviously, they're just right up the road, so it's always a lot of fun to go out and compete against those guys. And right now, their strength is in their lefty pitcher, and she is a great pitcher, well familiar with what Cash, the pitcher, what she can do. And, I believe her ERA is at a 1.28, which is extremely good. So anytime that kid's on the mound for Dayton, they've got a chance to win. So I would assume that we would face her. And again, that game's going to be a lot like the Michigan game, in which we're going to have to pitch it, defend, and find ways to manufacture some runs, because pitchers like that don't typically give up a lot of runs. So just overall, I say this every weekend, but we're going to prep for the teams coming up, but at the end of the day, we've got to come out there and we've got to play Miami softball. And I've just been really pleased with the improvement that our team has made over the past couple of weekends, and just excited to play at home this weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.